Shema Israel. Hope you enjoy this next study. My name's Dee. This is my wife, Millie.
So if you like what you see, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you wish to reach out to us, you can email us at devotedtoyah@gmail.com. A complete side note here within Isaiah 1. In verse 3, it talks about how the donkey knows his master. And we, at least for us, Dario, myself, and a couple here, know that within this movement, there are a lot of people that do not use certain words and will say, you know, we're cursing when we're using certain words such as master or Lord, and especially the word Baal. And I wanted to note a little chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget
Yeah.
moment.
Little
Food for thought.
Food for thought. In verse 3, this is a prophet talking, okay, from Yahuwah. And he's the word Baal.
A very set apart and holy man
Yes.
of God.
Yes.
People are getting upset with me saying
yeah. No, we're making light of it, but in all actuality, like,
no, seriously.
it's just a
Listen
language.
to what my wife is about to say.
Yeah. So in here, when it uses the word for our English master, in Hebrew, the word is Baal. And it's, yes, there are times when it actually refers to a pagan deity, right? So we're not supposed to call on that pagan deity. But when we're just speaking Hebrew, which is the language that they spoke, and they're just using the word Baal to mean master or Lord, it wasn't pagan. It wasn't sinful. So I just want to note that. Just a quick food for thought there.
Baal does not have a moral, let me say it this way. Baal does not have a moral compass. It is not an evil word. It is a generic, no morality, just a very neutral word that represents a title. It simply just represents somebody who is in authority over someone else. Like in English, we say Lord or master. Lord and master are synonyms, which mean pretty much the same thing. So it's not wrong to say Lord and master. And I think that's the point that we're trying to get to. People say you shouldn't say Lord and master because Lord, you shouldn't say Lord. Lord comes from the word Baal, and Baal is pagan, and they find all these other scriptures in the Bible, like where Yahuwah says, you will no longer call me Baal. You will call me husband, right? That's I think Hosea or something like that. He's not saying you will not call me a pagan deity anymore. You will call me, what he's saying is, I'm changing the status of our relationship from servant, slave to husband, wife. That is what the context of the whole book of Hosea actually is about anyway. It's a love story about a husband marrying a whore who goes off and cheats. And even though she cheats, he ends up still loving her and restoring that marriage relationship despite her cheating. That's what the book of Hosea is about. And it's spiritually talking about our relationship, Israel's relationship with the heavenly husband, Yahuwah, and how Yahuwah loves Israel despite her adultery and cheating. Yes, he has, through Jeremiah chapter 3, he divorced the northern kingdom of Israel. He wrote a certificate of divorce and he officially cut that marriage covenant, right? But through Yahusha the Messiah, the husband became a man and died. And when the husband died, that marriage contract was null and void for 3 days. But on the third day, the husband came back to life, allowing that wife to now remarry and come back to her original husband. So that marriage covenant and that marriage contract, the terms and conditions of that marriage covenant are back in effect, live and well.
Beautifully said. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good point you brought up. Thank you for bringing up that. No, that's good. So the Baal, so don't listen to these people trying to scare you with, oh, that's a pagan word. You can't say that. Oh, that's a pagan word. Don't get scared. Don't take them for what they say. Do your own research. If you're in this assembly, ask me. If you watch me on YouTube, email me, ask me. I've already started a little playlist on this topic that I intend on continuing, exposing the sacred word movement. I'm not part of that. I'm not with that. I think it's a burden. I think it's a distraction. And I think it causes a lot of pride and haughtiness. And it also is not effective in helping us to communicate with people that don't speak this Hebrew-ish language. We're trying to be communicate with Christians. We're trying to be able to be understood, easily understandable in what we're trying to deliver. Anyway, sorry.
No, no, that's perfect. That's good. Switching gears a little bit, I want to go also into this word consider, where it says the ox knows its owner and its donkey's master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people do not consider. And that word here is when we're going into the Strongs, H995, which means to discern, understand, or consider. So the word here is about perception, and Yehuda couldn't even perceive God's doings, aka they didn't recognize them. And the people of God lacked discernment regarding what their master or creator was doing. And the whole title of this segment kind of is like perception is going to lead to blasphemy, which we're still going to get into. But I just want to note that when we look at that word consider, that Israel did not consider Yahuwah. They didn't discern him. They couldn't understand him. They didn't perceive what he was doing. And so that drew us all the way to the ultimate reality of understanding Yahuwah would be understanding the Messiah. Do you want to go to?
Yes. So what came to mind when I was hearing this passage in Isaiah, I thought of Yahusha when he said, my sheep know my voice, right? It's the same kind of language. In Isaiah, he's saying that Israel doesn't recognize him as the master, but animals recognize their master. So I thought immediately of this passage here. So